Actually, right now, so I have a summer analyst role at a boutique investment firm, but my boss usually outsources most of the financial modeling because he's not like an expert at it himself. So
Mhm.
should I instead ask to see the model and then play with it myself to see how I can like talk about it more during the internship? Or should I just say that like I'm like taking like a financial modeling course right now, and although I don't have like a lot of deep experience, I can learn more about it on the way and I'll like be an expert by next summer when I'm actually going to be starting the jobs.
I think in an ideal in an ideal world, you would get your hand on the model, even if you weren't the one that built it, you can still like play around with it, right? And like just try to understand what's going on, right? Um, like most people, like even people that are working at bulge bracket or elite boutique banks this summer, it's most of the time the intern is not the one that's touching the model, or like definitely not owning the model. And if they do get to touch the model, they might touch like, a very small part. But like usually the analyst is the one that's going to own the model, right? Because they can do a lot faster, they can do it better. And quite frankly, like people are very afraid of like an intern who doesn't know what they're doing going in and like messing up one of the
Yeah.
cells, and it just breaks the entire model, and then now they have to spend like hours auditing it. So it's like it doesn't matter if you had a big firm or a small firm. The reality is like you're probably not like doing extensive modeling regardless. But I mean, someone was asking about this in the Slack channel earlier today, right? Which is like you still have to be able to speak to it as if you know what's going on in the model, right? But again,
Hmm.
like knowing what's going on in the model, like doesn't mean you have to know you know, every single formula that's used and like how everything is linked up and whatever. It's like I would look at the model, but um I would also look at like the presentation, the PowerPoint deck that went along with the model. Like usually you build models so that you can like copy paste the output of the model into the presentation, right? And then usually the presentation will have some narrative around it, which is like whatever story the managing director is trying to tell, right? Usually there might be some bullet points or text on the side, or like the headline on the slide will usually be like the main point of like whatever the slide is saying. Like so, like looking through the slides along with the model side by side and trying to like understand like, okay, what is the picture that we're trying to paint and like why, right? And like be able to like explain the rationale like verbally. I think that's a lot more important.
Hmm.
Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more customized advice that's tailored for your specific situation, then I invite you to book a free strategy session with our team at the link below. We'll talk to you soon.